Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review. Next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, the Marvel GamerVerse Spider-Man 2 PlayStation 5 game of Miles Morales, the Brooklyn 2099 suit Spider-Man. This is the last Spider-Man of the GamerVerse figures in this wave. The next video and the final video of this wave will be the Felicia Hardy Black Cat. There is technically one other Spider-Man figure to come that is going to be the Spirit Spider, Walmart exclusive. And I just checked my order and it says that's supposed to arrive by June 3rd. So maybe soon that'll be coming. And then there, of course, is the Amazon exclusive Deluxe Kingpin figure to come, and that'll round out all the GamerVerse figures. But here we've got the Miles Morales Brooklyn 2099 suit. This should be a 100% all-new figure. And, the hands are probably all new, too. I don't know that for sure. But this is the other all-new one. You know, the other two Miles figure. Well, one Miles figure was a complete 100% repaint, and then the Boricua suit was some new stuff with some old stuff on there. But this guy's going to be all new, and I think this one looks pretty good. I think I'm going to be pretty happy with this one. Some people I did see complain about like the brown color of the armor that's on there. It is weird. And I will talk about it. So here's the artwork there, and as you can see, not quite a brown color, but I do see some brownish in there, but not quite. And then again, we've looked at all the Spider-Man's figures, and then Black Cat will be the last one after this one. So let's go ahead and open it up, and let's take a look. Okay, so here is the Brooklyn 2099 Miles Morales figure suit figure. And it's okay. I don't love it. I barely like it. It's cool because it's all new. And that's always appreciated. You know, when we get a figure and they actually put the effort in to give us new sculpting and all of that. But it's pretty limited in articulation throughout the torso. Butterfly joints are there. Cool. They're not very functional. Ab crunch is in there. Typical, sure, whatever. It's not a whole lot of range on there. The legs are cool. The pants are a little baggy for me, but that is part of the suit. I think they could have slimmed it down maybe a little bit. But other than that, I mean, it looks cool or whatever, and it's fine. It's functional. I'm just not the biggest fan. And we'll talk about like the armor and stuff and whether that's accurate or not. And it kind of is, but I don't know that it is. But the thing, like why they made it brown, and it has to be somewhat accurate because think about it. Sony had to have signed off on this, right? Per the license. They would have to say, okay, does it look like the figure is an accurate representation? And they have to say, approved. If the brown wasn't accurate or they hated it, they wouldn't say approved, right? Like, so it must be right. I don't like it. I think they should have gone with a shiny black, I think, would have been nice. How accurate that would be, I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't, but it would look a whole hell of a lot better for sure. But anyway, let's get into the accessories. So, and I just lost a hand. He comes with 2 extra sets of hands. So he's got fists, which is cool. There, he's got thwip hands. So you get a left and a right thwip hand. You also get a left and a right wall crawling hand. So we get all the hands that we could ask for, right? Remember, some comic figures only come with like 1 extra set of hands or no hands, and they do stupid weird things like 1 wall crawling hand, 1 thwip hand. But these GamerVerse figures, we're actually getting like all round of hands, so that is cool. We get a couple of web accessories. We actually seen these the first time with like either the Velocity suit or the Spider Armor suit. I don't remember which one it was, but we get these web accessories, and these are things that you could just like place in certain places throughout, or if you have a body hanging somewhere and it's like, oh, he got webbed up, or you know, however you want to do that. But that's what these 2 webs are. They're cool. They're fun. You get not a whole lot of function that I get out with them or anything, but they're cool that they're there. So that is the Miles Morales suit. Let's take a quick look up close, and then we'll take a look at his articulation. Okay, here's an up close look for it. Again, the brown is weird. Shiny black would have looked a lot cooler. Even looking at the suit in the game, it doesn't look exactly like a shiny black, but it doesn't quite match this brown, so it's kind of weird how they did it. And then the red paint on there, on mine, it's not great. Like, it might be better on some others, but there's, you know, a couple of little paint chip missing areas. Like, I got one in the butterfly joint there. And then the way they painted it is not great. So usually, like, when they come together, like, I don't know how the factory process works when it comes to painting, but it's like they start and paint and then stop, and then on the back side they start and paint and then stop. And so there's some overlap, and you can see there's a huge piece of overlap there, which that piece of red would look good if they did that. So if they just did like 2 layers, it would look good. But that's weird that, you know, I have that weird paint imperfection there. It's kind of funky. And then here you can see that that overlay portion is much smaller, and I don't mind it as much on this side because it's smaller, but that side is kind of heavy and looks a little bit funky. And then the paint is very faded here because only single layer of paint kind of on the back, but it looks like the brighter red is probably where they did 2 layers. So this bottom portion piece of this torso on the ab crunch got 2 layers. The front, I can't tell if it got 2 layers or not. It's just kind of weird, but it definitely looks more faded here on the back. But the design looks pretty cool, I gotta say. The spider logo on the back looks pretty cool. On the front, looks okay too, so, you know, can't be too mad at that, you know. And then on his face, he's got like multiple eyes like a spider actually would, so that kind of makes sense. He's got these pouches on his waist and then a little bit of silver in there. There is a waist swivel. At first I was thinking, man, is there no waist swivel even on this guy? But luckily there is. You can see his pants. He's just got these red stripes that go down his pants there. And I wonder, like that line, I wonder if that was supposed to have red paint, maybe to like match one of these lines. But then they just didn't do it on the figure. I mean, I guess, oh, actually it is painted. It's kind of like got this brownish color, just not shiny in there. That's kind of weird. The texture of the pants looks pretty good. It is pinless. It's got thick baggy pants, so at the knee bend it's going to look pretty ugly. So just a heads up on kind of how that knee bend is going to look. And then he's just got these black shoes on there, and we got an ankle swivel, which is cool. So not a whole lot going on with this guy. You know, the brown armor is on the forearm pieces there. It's okay look. I think the brown does ruin it a little bit, and I think a black would have just looked better, even if not completely game accurate. Okay, so taking a look at the articulation for the Brooklyn 2099 suit, he can look up that much there. The head is on a disc hinge. He can look down that much there. That works out well. You get a full rotation in there. No pivot whatsoever going on in that neck. And I will caution you guys, these shoulders are very, very stiff. And the bicep where it connects at the shoulder is a little gummy in there, so you have to be very careful. So really grip at that shoulder when possible, so you're not ripping that peg in half. So terrible quality there. The arm can go out that much there. You get a full rotation in there. There is a butterfly joint, but the butterfly joint is just basically like what's even the point? Like that's how much the arms go back. I don't like. Nothing. Why even do the butterfly joints, to be honest with you? And then coming forward is nothing. Can you even get some good crossbody? No, not really. So that's not great. And then you got the upper bicep swivel in there. Again, that's where it's gummy in there, so be very careful there. Double jointed elbow gives you nice bend there at the elbow. Wrist swivel, and they do hinge, standard horizontal hinge on all of the hands that he comes with. Ab crunch, that crunch is only a little bit, so that's his forward crunch on there. Not a whole lot. That's pretty disappointing. He goes back a little bit. That's about normal. He has the waist swivel in there. Legs go out that far apart. He can kick forward. Ooh, that far. Ooh, that's not good. The leg doesn't really go back. You got the upper thigh cut in there. Double jointed pinless knee gives you that much bend there, but because the baggy pants, it's just a really, really ugly knee bend there. And then he does have an ankle swivel right at the top of the shoe. Foot hinges down, hinge up, ankle pivot, pegels at the bottom of the feet. So yeah, his articulation is pretty lacking. It looks okay, but again, you know, not a fan of the brown. I want to say that, yeah, it must be accurate somewhat, but it's just not the greatest. One concerning thing is every time they had this picture, or when they first revealed this figure, all the images had his legs like this. So I think the worry was like, uh-oh, are those legs like not going to come closer together? Thankfully, that is not an issue. But again, he does lack articulation kind of everywhere else. Okay, so here are our 3 Miles Morales figures from the video game, and you can see with the unique sculpting to the GamerVerse, whereas this one's kind of partially unique, but part comic, so that one is a little bit bigger height wise. They're pretty similar, but like heads larger, hands larger. It's close, but these two obviously, you know, this one, you know, scales really well. They're about the same height and like same size, you know, body size and whatnot. They scale really well together, so that works out. But those are our three from this wave. We did get a couple of Peter Parker figures, so we're going to throw in our Peter Parker black suit in there, and then we're going to throw in our anti-venom suit style in there. So we got our like comic figures and then GamerVerse figures over there. So lots of different Spider-Mans. Yeah, a lot of different Spider-Mans. But we had a couple of other Miles Morales figures, just not from this wave, so let's check those out. So here is the Miles Morales from the second game. We got this that came out shortly after the game had released, or was it before? No, I'm sure it was after, but it was way back. So it's a bit of an older figure now. So you can see very similar, obviously, to that upgraded suit style, the red, white, and blue, because it was the same figure. It's just a repaint. So that's how that scales. This is the one from the first the Miles Morales game, which was the second game in the series, not game 2. But, you know, it was because that's, you know, a repaint of that there. But those are all the Miles Morales figures. And again, they scale all well together because a lot of them had the same parts or whatever, but they work well. Like, I can reasonably see, oh, same person wears that suit and this suit, which is, you know, that's the preference. That's what I would like to see. Whereas, again, and everyone's going to comment this. It's like, I know the advanced suit is a comic book figure. That's why he's taller than the GamerVerse figures. I get it. But that's the problem that I'm trying to, like, that's the issue. Hasbro should not have done us dirty like that. They should give us a sculpted figure of that. I can only wish and hope. And wish and hope. Okay, so that is the Miles Morales Brooklyn 2099 suit. Not my favorite figure, but I think one that people probably were looking at like, oh, that looks pretty good, and, you know, maybe that's one I'll be looking to pick up. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, pretty disappointing in terms of the articulation. Watch out for those biceps, because, again, those shoulders are very tight, so the gumminess of the bicep pegs in there, you got to watch out for. The brown is a little off. And the articulation is disappointing, so I'm left disappointed in this figure. Does it have a pretty good look? Yeah, you know, of all the Miles Morales suit designs, this is definitely one of the better ones in the game for sure. Just, you know, could wished and hoped for more, but you guys give me your thoughts down in the comments below on what you think of it. Do you think the brown is accurate to the game? I don't know. Again, I think a shiny black isn't completely accurate either, but just in the toy form, I think would look so much better. So, you know, I talk about, you know, movie accuracy and game accuracy all the time, but then I'm like over here, well, you just make it a little better to make the figure look good. And I don't know, you know, where's the balance, and would it be better to just make the figure look better as opposed to what the design is in the game? I think sometimes, yeah, maybe it just depends, but that's my thought. You guys give me yours in the comments below. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't already done so, and as always, thank you for watching.